Thank you for tuning in to the 2025 Masters Crokinole Tournament hosted by the Queen City Crokinole Club. This is a Tier 2 National Crokinole Association event, and in this matchup we have in the backwards ball cap Trey Snide from the Oxford Crokinole Club, and across the board from him, Ehren Lewis from the Extra Pine Crokinole Club, making up the team of Flick the Bean. And across the board from them is Darin Van Gammeren on the far side of the table, and Jeremy Tracey across from him, the team of Humility Not Included. This is a race to 9 points. The winner will go on to the finals to play off against Northern Magic. Linder Wendt and McTague, Ehren Lewis with a miss on his first shot. Humility Not Included to have the hammer. Trey Snide playing to the far side of the 15 region. Nice catch off the post, but comes awfully close to the center. We're looking at a heavy hanger for Van Gammeren here. We'll see if he is able to convert. He does not, rolling away ever so slightly. We will see if that is close enough for Ehren to drop the 20. Now, most recently, Ehren Lewis won the 2025 Vermont Singles Crokinole Championship, beating Mark Ponzio from the Brooklyn Crokinole Club in the finals. Tracey going for a follow-through, doesn't quite get it. Not sure if he was going for the follow-through or roll-away, nonetheless, pretty close to the center here. Snide going for the touch 20, doesn't get it, leaving an opportunity for Van Gammeren up the line, which he converts on with the touch. Doesn't get the off, but that's all they need. Humility Not Included has the final shot of this round, so that is a good advantage for them to have. Ehren will be looking to convert an angle in here. Nearly gets it, comes just a little bit short, and a little bit short means not a 20 for the other team. Tracey passes the opportunity on to Snide. Now, Trey Snide, we most recently saw him with Dean Singh at the Diamond State Crokinole Championship. I believe that was the last event he played in, where he made the Final Four. If you want to see him in action, you can check out the semifinal round from that tournament. Van Gammeren going for the 20, and he gets it. That was pretty far back to get the off with that as well, so well done on his part. Humility Not Included, up 2 20s in the cup right now. Just halfway through the shots. Ehren with an open 20 opportunity up the right side of his quadrant, and he gets it. Tracey, I think he was trying to roll away, caught a post though, leaving a 20 opportunity for Snide. Able to get it. Doesn't get the off with it. That could be costly if Van Gammeren is able to convert here. He does not, although very good spot. Post in between those two buttons, so no easy double opportunities for Lewis here. Taking his time, he could go for the follow-through, although that one button is awfully far into the 10, which can make it that much more difficult on what is already a difficult shot. Lining it up. Doesn't get it, loses his shooter. And Jeremy looking to make this hurt. Again, Van Gammeren and Tracey both struggling a little bit on their open 20s as Tracey goes a little bit long. Nicer double here for Trey, who will more than likely be looking to clear the board. Maybe going for a 20 instead, but doesn't get anything off. Van Gammeren left with an easy off here to give his team 3 pieces on the board. Stays close to the center, although with how busy the board is right now, even if Lewis gets a 20, Tracey should be good to, if he can hone in on his open 20s, keep their advantage. Lewis going for the angle in off the 1 and the 10. Maybe looking to get a double. Doesn't get into the house, and Tracey will be going with an easy hit and stick on the outside, just giving Trey even less to work with.
And go for the double, try to sink it.
You hear Ehren there recommending the double. Double and a 20, he doesn't ask for much. Nearly got a 20 there. He saw it lip over the center. Tracey telling Van Gammeren they already got it on the board. He doesn't need to shoot. So Van Gammeren will gutter his final shot. Humility Not Included, going up 2-0 in this race to 9 points. and players will have a full reset of the board before Jeremy starts the second round. A huge thank you to the Queen City Crokinole Club who hosted and put on this event. They did a fantastic job between making sure that the tournament ran smoothly, as well as just putting on a fun environment for everybody. So if you want to learn more about the Queen City Crokinole Club in North Carolina, make sure to check them out. Link is in the description below. Jeremy goes long on his opening 20, giving Snide an opportunity to get a touch 20. Very nice, just dives in there. Immediate advantage to the team of Flick the Bean. Van Gammeren going for a bump and run, gets it, and does a nice job not leaving his piece in a super advantageous spot for Lewis. Lewis content with a hit and stick there, just keeping any 20 opportunities away from Tracey. Tracey will either be looking to roll away or get right in front of a post. Very nice. See how Trey deals with this. He goes for what Van Gammeren would call a hamster shot, where you bounce it off the button into a post back for the 20. Doesn't get it though. And I'm curious if we'll see. I am almost certain that if someone hits what they call the hamster shot, we will hear them exclaim it. Only time will tell though. Humility not included with 2 pieces on the board. Wow! Out of nowhere, a beautiful 20 from Lewis, putting some pressure on Tracey, but figuring out his open 20s range. Very nicely done, not breaking under the pressure. But also, what a shot to follow up. And another 20 out of Snide, bumping a piece to the outside. Even if Van Gammeren gets an open 20 here, Lewis will have the opportunity to play to the edges. And he'll do that here. It looks like that may be nicer for Trey to hit. Ehren would be shooting up his non-dominant side of the quadrant to get that. So it's nicer for Trey, but Tracey will be looking for a way to interfere with this shot. Trying to angle in here. Not quite able. You see Ehren right away pointing out the 20. We'll see once he moves if he gets it. He does not. This is an interesting situation. I think Van Gammeren will be able to get the 20, although he will be most likely demoting one of his pieces. I stand corrected as he drives that green piece off the board without losing either of his buttons in play. And Ehren now, considering the situation, right now, if he just trades a piece, then it'll be perfectly tied on the board, so he will be looking to do some cleanup. Him and Trey. At some point, that is not what he wanted. Drives into a post. Perhaps the pressure getting to him a little bit with that shot. Tracey now, if he can get this open 20, they will be in a great position. Overpowering it. And you see Jeremy is not happy with that. Not quite sure what happened there. But still a good spot for humility not included. 3 pieces on the board. While they are playing against the hammer, Trey and Ehren will have to do some cleanup. Trey going for the double, doesn't get it, and leaving a backboard for Van Gammeren, who will be looking to convert on this shot. A little bit to the left there. But again, Ehren left with quite a busy 15 region. It is so hard to say what he'll do here because all it takes is one post to interfere with a perfectly planned double to cause things to go to chaos. Hitting your own shooter, dropping a 20 for the opponent. He might be going for a safe single off. Or maybe the double, bumping that one closest to the center into that furthest one from him. He gets the one off, demotes the other, but a shooter ends up on the outside.
I think I try to get up into the 15.
And Jeremy doing some quick math, seeing he needs to get into the 15. Not able to do it right now. Humility not included with 35 points on the board. So right now, still needing a double or a 20 off the one in the 15. Even that would only tie it up, and then Van Gammeren's left with an open 20 chance. If there's some kind of double, that would be ideal, but that one in the 15 is so nicely posted, it's going to be very difficult to get that. And even those two in the 10, I think those posts are in the way. So I'm not sure how Trey swings this. See Ehren making some suggestions. They might just be trying to get into the 15 at this point. Nearly gets a 20 off that. Also removes that 1 in the 15 off the post, so it may leave Ehren with a better opportunity to get a double. And a quick correction, the scoreboard is slightly off in terms of the shots left. This is the final shot for Humility not included, so they just need to keep enough points on the board that it makes it extremely difficult for Ehren to get back into the round with his final shot. If he is able to stay in the 15, in that relative area, it will be very difficult for Lewis to get a double and win the round. But Van Gammeren rolls to the outside. If he can get a takeout in the 15 and stay there, they tie the round. And if he can get a double, they will win it and take 2 points from Humility not included. He goes big, but that piece catches the center. That means Tracey and Van Gammeren will go up 4-0. An unfortunate catch there. Very close round as teams reset now. And from both the teams, very small mistakes that could have costed them the round. In the case of Flick the Bean, it did. And all it really comes down to is if those players can shake those mistakes, because we know all these players can shoot very well. And unless those get in your head, then they should be good to keep rolling. Trey going long, 20 opportunity for Van Gammeren, doesn't drop it. Ehren could have a 20 here, although it's going to be a very difficult push. That button is very awkwardly placed. We'll see what he does here. He catches a post. He was going strong for that follow through, but unable to get it. Tracey could get a 20 here, although he'd have to bump pretty strong through his own. Or he could try to catch a post and bump it from behind. We'll see what he's able to do. He went for the post to bump it in. Not able to get it on the upside, blocking Trey's lane at a clear shot for the 20. And Humility not included has got to be happy with this situation that they're starting the round off with. They do have the hammer in this third round. So 2 pieces on the board, no 20s. That's a pretty good start. But Trey perhaps looking to do some cleanup. Getting one off, demoting the other. Van Gammeren does have to play to the inside right now, so Flick the Bean not caught to the outside of the board quite yet. But no easy 20 opportunities for Lewis here. Not sure if he's eyeing up a double. I don't think he's getting to the inside from that piece out in the 10. I think his best shot is to go through the diagonal lane on the right side of his quadrant and hope he catches a post, or maybe just go for the hit and stick. The biggest issue with that is there is a chance he leaves a 20 opportunity for Tracey, giving them that much more of an advantage.
The double's there. I'm worried about this here.
Okay, Trey is talking about the double. So Trey confirming what Ehren is eyeing up. Maybe just a bad camera angle for this particular shot, but I'm not sure there is a double in this situation. We'll see. Goes for it. I think he was just trying to get in off that one. Unable. Stuck to the outside. Trey's only going to have one piece he can really work with. I stand corrected. Tracey coming into the house just barely. But enough so that Trey has 2 options. Neither of these options great. That piece closer to him, right near a post. That other one awfully close to a post as well. Trey going for the touch 20, unable to convert. We've seen that Trey really likes those touch 20s, and he has a good success with them. The issue is, when you don't sink them, you leave your opponent the chance to build up on the board. And you see right now, Humility not included, 3 pieces in play, leaving Ehren with a very busy 15 region. On the upside, this might be more double friendly. But again, I'm not seeing any great chances. I think from the angle he's approaching, if he went through the middle lane on a diagonal, right where he is, he's considering it, that double, to catch those 2 pieces. But the issue is that third piece adds another variable that makes this very unpredictable.
I want to take him through there, but I'm worried about.
Here, Ehren talking. He sees a clean, kind of a clean off for that one, but it's a very thin line for it to get past that other piece. And if it catches, could be a disaster. Goes for the safer option, getting a single off, leaving Tracey one lane away. I think, actually, no, that is far enough in that Tracey might have to punch that straight through. You see him talking. If he were to go up that right side, he might catch the post, or he's not sure where his piece will go. And yeah, he catches the post strong. Trey also left with a very nice 20 opportunity. Just the way that is, especially with that far piece in the way, this will more than likely be a touch 20. But still, that'll give them some leeway. I stand completely corrected. Trey gets a very nice double. Unfortunately, Van Gammeren left with one on the outside to play to. Ehren has next to nothing here. He might be able to angle in for that far post. I don't think it was there. Ehren doesn't go for it. And Tracey just going to keep play away from Trey. There's going to be this game of cat and mouse of flick the bean, trying to get 20s and humility not included, making sure they are never, ever lined up for it. Van Gammeren from here on out is going to play to that piece out in the 10 where Ehren has absolutely nothing to work with. So really it'll come down to Trey and what he's able to make happen here. Rolling to the outside. And folks, we are very, very close to a Brubaker situation.
No, I like it from here. Bring it to like that.
You hear Tracey recommend going from the farthest side of the quadrant, as far over as Van Gammeren can get over. Almost going for a hide, but more importantly, tucking into the 10 region on the farthest side of the board from Ehren. Ehren has to peel now. There is absolutely no other option. And a lot of people have asked us what a Brubaker situation is. This is a textbook example. Look here, Ehren plays to that far piece from him. Tracey plays to the far piece from Trey. Trey hits and sticks on the board there. Van Gammeren plays to the piece furthest from Ehren. It's a horrible back and forth that will continue on to the end of the round unless Ehren breaks the cycle. In my opinion, his best option is to just gutter his shot. Don't even go for the far piece. So Trey has something to work with to get play back to the center. Ehren talking to his partner. He could also hit that piece and peel, but then Trey will still be stuck to the outside of the board on Jeremy's shot, which means it'll all come down to Aaron's final shot to make something happen. In my opinion, you want as many opportunities as you can, so Ehren has got to gutter his shot.
Take them both because he'll still do the same thing.
You hear Trey and Ehren working through this. This is tough, especially with how few shots there are left in the round. It'd be one thing if this happened 2 or 3 shots into the game. It would be a relatively easy decision, but only time will tell. Hindsight is 20/20. What will be the right decision after Ehren shoots? A little bit of context about Jeremy. He runs the St. Jacobs Crokinole Club out of Ontario. That is, I believe, one of the longest standing clubs, being established back in 1949. I want to say. I will fact check myself on that. Ehren going to hit and peel that shot, gutters. I think that will work out in the favor for them, because now Trey has something to work with and Ehren has something to work with. Now, Trey's shot here isn't a very clean one. That post is in the way. See him trying to angle in, blows through the house. Van Gammeren is just going to go for a hit and stick here, most likely. On the upside, his own piece is in the way. So on the off chance we see a mistake out of Van Gammeren where he hits his own and doesn't catch the green, Ehren might have a pretty decent opportunity to turn this round around. Van Gammeren not taking that risk as he takes a diagonal lane. Very nice shot. Although Ehren has the opportunity to put some significant pressure on Tracey. If he can get a double and a 20, I don't ask for much, but that's a shot he needs to go for. If he gets a single and a 20, then Tracey just needs a valid shot in the 15 to tie and a 20 to win. And with that, Tracey still needs to shoot, but all he needs to do is make contact, I would say, from the inside. Although if Tracey can get the off, that would do it. Actually, that's on the line. So Tracey and Van Gammeren win it by 5 points, bringing the score 6-0. While the players reset, this is a Tier 2 National Crokinole Association event and is part of the 2025-26 NCAA Tour. If you want to learn more about the National Crokinole Association, like upcoming tournaments, where to attend, where to sign up, or where your favorite players are in the standings, how they've done so far, you can check out all that information on the National Crokinole Association website. Link is in the description below. Van Gammeren comes very short on his opening shot, but leaving a tricky off for Ehren, but he deals with that with ease and leaving his piece in a nice spot. Tracey forced to go one lane way to avoid the risk of catching the post and leaving a touch 20 opportunity here for Trey. Given his track record and his preference to those touch 20s, that's what he goes for. Doesn't get it. Now, Van Gammeren should be able to get a 20 off this. Tracey recommends playing through his own piece. He's going to drive it ever so slightly, catching it on the left side of the piece from Van Gammeren. Now, I don't think he'll get the green piece off with this, but they should be able to drop their own piece in the 20. Looking for some redemption on his opening shot. He doesn't get it. Piece is building up on the board, starting to look a little bit busy. We'll see what Lewis does here. He wants to be careful not to take off his own piece. Doesn't get the off. Ends with a shooter in the 5. Lots of pieces on the board. Humility not included. Currently up by 10 points with all the buttons in play. That's 30-20. Tracey looks like he's running the 20. Doesn't get it. Now Trey left with a somewhat tricky shot. A lot of black pieces jamming up the center. Could see a double here. Lewis recommending the 20 off that leftmost piece in the 15 from Trey. We'll see if that's what he goes for. Might be lining up for that middle one. Oh, very nice. Exactly what Ehren recommended. They get a 20. Van Gammeren forced to play to the outside. Now, humility not included. Does have 4 pieces on the board. And as it is right now, that is more than enough to make up for the 20s discrepancy. But Ehren trying to hide on Tracey. Really depend if Tracey's able to get it from the outside or not. No way he's getting through the middle on that one. And he is. Good attempt from Ehren on that. Trey going to hide in the 5 region. And if that is dead center enough, this could be very tricky for Van Gammeren. He does not see it from the outside. That was a great placement from Trey.
Well, if you do, Aaron's going over there. Then I got to shoot over there. And then Trey's coming over here.
What you hear Jeremy describing is a Brubaker situation we saw just a round or 2 ago. This one's a little bit more finicky because Trey and Ehren have a lot of cleanup to do in the center, but I think that was the best decision to peel the shot. Ehren is still going to play to that far piece for now, but Tracey at the very least with something close to him to work with. He'll be going for a tough angle in. He nearly gets it just a little bit to the right. 3 pieces firmly in the 15 right now, though. We'll see if Trey is able to drop a 20. Way too strong. I don't know what exactly he caught in terms of the post there. Nonetheless, losing his own piece. Van Gammeren and Tracey discussing they want to get in the house somehow. They really don't want Ehren to hide on Tracey, so he wants to be inside where Ehren's not able to roll to the far side of the board from Tracey. If he stays there, then Jeremy's going to have to find a way to get to a green piece on the far side of the board, or he's going to have to peel. Very nice in from Van Gammeren. Yeah, Ehren is going to have a very tough time getting play to the outside. He needs to play to the middle now. They've been putting this problem off for a while, and this problem has gotten worse through the game. It started with 1 piece in the middle, 2, and we're all the way up to 4 black pieces in the center. A whopping 60 points on the board. Ehren will be looking for a very big cleanup shot here. Gets 2 off, 1 demoted. Shooter on the outside, very nicely done. Be up to Trey to do a little bit more cleanup. Tracey keeping those pieces awfully close. If Trey can cut through that diagonal, we could be looking at a double, which puts them in the situation they want to be in. They're in a great spot right now with the hammer, up 20. And looking at the board right now, I think that's enough to keep them in the lead.
Get it and tuck it up there as best you can. I don't see any.
Tracey discussing the best way for Van Gammeren to get back in the house. I think that green piece is far back enough. It's going to be very tough. I don't know if he's just trying to stay in between the posts, but yeah, stays in that area. Tracey content with that placement. Looking at the board, I think that black piece is firmly in the 10, not touching the 5 line, which means Tracey and Van Gammeren have 35 points on the board. So if they take off that 15 for their final shot, if Trey were to just go for that 15, they should be good to take this round. Ehren could also potentially get a double, although it looks like he's lining up for an angle in 20 there, which I don't think he wants to come into the house. He doesn't want to leave Tracey with any opportunities. I think staying on the outside is the best option here. I don't think I've done my math wrong. He didn't want to do that. He did not want to do that. He loses his piece to the outside. Open 20 opportunity for Tracey here. But even if he gets this, Trey just needs to take off that 1 in the 15. And even less now as Jeremy blows through the house. Ehren talking about the best line to take that piece off. He just needs to touch it, though. They're up 20 right now. If they get the touch, they win it by 10 points. So no big pressure here, just getting to that piece. Even with that, they win it. Trey, very generous, drops a 20 for the other team. And still taking the 2 points. Now on the scoreboard, flick the bean. Going to 6-2. Still in favor of humility, not included. But perhaps a morale booster to finally get some points. That can be tough being so far down. And you really just need to get your head back in the game. So we'll see how Ehren and Lewis approach this next round. Not Ehren and Lewis, Ehren and Trey. Ehren scoring that first open 20. Tracey follows suit. And we are off to the races. We haven't seen a lot of very long open 20s races at all in this match so far. That being said, that means we get to see more play on the board, more strategic thinking, and Van Gammeren coming up short. Easy conversion opportunity for Ehren here, up the left side, able to get it. Doesn't get the off, but still up 2 20s. Playing against the hammer, that's a good advantage to start off with. Tracey keeping it dialed in, unfazed by the disadvantage. Trey with a piece to play to. Rolling over to Van Gammeren's side. Ideally would have liked to keep it maybe between the posts or on the far side of the 15. Nonetheless, not a super gimme 20 for Van Gammeren here. Might be running it anyways. The angle-in is certainly possible from this spot. Tries to get it, unable, leaving another backboard for Ehren. Cashing in on all of the opportunities. I stand corrected, going a little bit long. Sorry to jinx you there, Ehren. Passing on the chance to Jeremy. We'll see if he gets it. He does. Doesn't get the off with it, though. That piece still out in the 5. Trey training that open 20. Van Gammeren at least with something to work with. Tracey recommending a hide. Very interesting. Perhaps looking to get more pieces on the board. Van Gammeren will be rolling over. Very nice spot. Maybe a touch over to where Ehren's able to get that from the diagonal lane with relative ease. Yeah, he's able to hit that. Tracey with 2 options. He could either angle in off that 1 in the 5, which he goes for it coming up short. In hindsight, I would have let Van Gammeren run that angle in. Van Gammeren loves his angle ins. It would have been a good 20 to have and maybe a morale booster. But that's just my personal opinion. When me and Van Gammeren partner again in the Ontario doubles, I'm going to tell him to run those every single time. But getting back to the action, Trey with a piece of play 2 in the 15. He could leave his shot nicely posted if he plays this right. That's not bad either. Rolling over between the posts on the far side of the 15, Van Gammeren, if he wants anything, is going to be catching the post off either shot that he goes for. Might come down to what Tracey likes better in terms of what he can play to. And Tracey recommending that he try to hide on Ehren again. And that could work out if there's a lot of green on the board of blocking up the laneways to get to the far piece. It'll just come down to whether Van Gammeren can get that touch from the outside. I think it's certainly doable. The only thing he'll have to be cautious of is not accidentally bumping that green into the 20. Awfully close to it. Caught a post. He cut awfully close. But that being said, great spot. Again, just a touch over the center, but this time a lot more green in the way. Ehren still going for it, able to get it. But Tracey left with what could be a backboard. His most ideal lane's blocked up in the center by that green piece. And it looks like it's a little too far back. You see Van Gammeren pointing that out. A little bit too far back to go up the left side of Tracey's quadrant. But that is a beautiful shot for Van Gammeren. So I think Tracey just punches out that green one closest to him and leaves the 20 for his partner. He does that very nicely. Ehren and Trey may want to interfere with that to not let their opponents catch up in the cup. An invalid shot. I mean, that's one way to mess with the backboard. I'll give you that. That is one way to take that away, but open 20 opportunity for Van Gammeren. Comes up very short. That piece just stuck to the board. Players laughing it off. You see Van Gammeren smiling, and Tracey is so expressive. You can see it from the back of his head. He was laughing about that. Again, that's the best thing you can do is shake it off and keep moving along. Nonetheless, it's going to be very tough. It's going to come down to Van Gammeren's last shot. Trey could seal the round and get a 20 here, but the 20 is not very accessible. So I think Trey's best option is to just get to the outside. You see Ehren pointing to the laneways he can take to get out that way. Even if he gets in front of a post, that would do it. In a place where even if Van Gammeren can get the 20, maybe his infamous hamster shot, he can't get it. Rolling over to Van Gammeren. So one in. It's a follow-through 20. It's the only thing he has. He has to run it. Playing for the tie. Can he do it? Really taking his time here. He doesn't get it. Flick the bean. Going up. 4-2-6 now. 2 rounds in a row. That's got to feel like some momentum. Looks like Linder is double-checking the score. You see that in the background. Very nice, letting the audience know what is up. I think that's something that every tournament should do, just having those flip cards, because I know there's been a few tourneys where people are watching the semis or the finals, and they don't know where the players are at, and you kind of got to do some math, maybe investigate the scorecards from afar to figure out where the players are exactly, but it's on display for everybody here. Van Gammeren awfully close to the center here. We could be seeing a 24. Ehren goes for the touch, and he gets it. Very nice shot. Hammer advantage up in the cup. Tracey going for a bump and run, and unable to get it. Trey could go for the 20. I think he should go for the 20 up the line. Just up their 20 count. Gets a touch from there. Just barely bumping that piece. Very nicely played. Now up 2 in the cup. Although humility not included. Building up some momentum on the board. Van Gammeren unable to get the open 20. 3 pieces in play for a sum total of 40 points, but playing against the hammer. Flick the bean in a good spot right now. That being said, they cannot afford a mistake. With such a busy board, it would take just losing your shooter in an open 20 to turn the tides of this match very quickly. So Ehren playing cautiously, playing to that single piece where nothing's really jammed up. Could see a 20 here from Tracey. It's not a gimme. It's going to be an England, and a bit of a tough one. He has to push through his own piece. He gets it. Not sure if he bumped his piece a little bit, taking that out of the 20. Double checks with the opponents. They are content with the placement of those pieces. Trey probably going for an angle in of his own here. It's not the cleanest backboard, which is, yeah, that one's a little bit far enough away that he's not going to be able to get the easy backboard 20. But that angle in is short enough that it should be doable. It's certainly doable. It's just a matter, maybe Trey's going for the double here as well. He doesn't need the double, and 20 would be nice. Getting to the outside there. Trey, he wanted the 20. He shakes his head a little bit with that one, but leaves Van Gammeren with absolutely nothing. So, in my opinion, great shot from Trey. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it in detail before. Trey Snide is from the Oxford Crokinole Club, also based in North Carolina. I believe a few Oxford people in representation at this tournament. And also looking for some redemption, making top 4 at the Diamond State Crokinole Championship in Delaware. Unfortunately, not successful in that tourney. I believe he placed 3rd or 4th. I say not successful. 3rd or 4th is successful at a tournament. Not the result they want. Ideally, everybody wants to get 1st place. But nonetheless, if he wins this, he will be going on to the finals. And that would be an upgrade from his last tournament result. Playing to the outside, Van Gammeren with one closer to him to work with. And that angle in he loves so much. See if he's able to get this, at the very least, getting into the 15. Nice! See, that's what I'm saying. Van Gammeren, that's my guy. That's my guy. He loves those angle-ins. Very beautiful shot, tying it up in the cup. But worth as much as that as Ehren holds on to their 20s advantage. Tracey now to angle in, coming up just a little bit short. We'll see what Trey is able to do with this. Most likely looking to get away. If he doesn't love a 20 here, I think he just keeps any opportunities away from Van Gammeren. And I'm telling you, folks, don't roll to the outside on Van Gammeren's side of the board. He loves those angle-ins. Nice 20 from Trey, giving them a 220 advantage. A lot of work for Van Gammeren and Tracey to do with their final few shots. Van Gammeren a little bit strong. Overcorrects a little bit from a few short open 20 chances. And those 2 pieces on the board are not enough to make up for the 20 discrepancy. And playing against the hammer, Ehren doing a great job leaving that piece posted. It'd be tough for Tracey to get the off here. Yeah, he gets the off, but he loses the shooter in the process. Really great spot for the team of Flick the Bean now. Simple takeout for Trey here. Looking to stay on his side of the 15. He pushes in awfully close. Could be a 20 opportunity for Van Gammeren, and it won't be enough. There's only one shot left for each team. Not enough to make up for the 20 discrepancy. Final shot, Ehren. He gutters his shot. It wouldn't have mattered even if he dropped a 20 for the other team. Tying it up 6-6, making a 6-point comeback. And momentum in favor of Flick the Bean. This video coverage is provided to you by Tracey Boards, the official board builders for the World Crokinole Championships, and the boards being used at this tourney. If you would like to learn more or to buy your very own board, you can check out TraceyBoards.com, link in the description below. Players laughing around the table at that open 20 that just barely dropped in for Trey, and Van Gammeren going long. Ehren looks like he's tempted to play to the outside. Smart strategy being up in the cup right now. That being said, they are playing against the hammer, so they want to be careful not to let humility not included get too many pieces on the board. Ehren able to get the off, though. Trey now doesn't much care about the off, I would say. More importantly, the hide. Priority over all else, and that is a good spot. I don't think Van Gammeren will have a line from the outside. And that diagonal piece, yeah, you hear Tracey saying he has to go through his own. No options here. He'll be bumping his own. Very well played. Now, Ehren could play to the inside. I think he's better off playing to the outside piece in fear of catching some posts, but he plays to the in, and he gets it. Very nice slice. Getting that piece far away from Tracey. Not quite a Brubaker situation. Tracey can Still play to the inside, although taking the off from out there. Interesting, I guess because of the hammer, they have 2 pieces on the board. But Van Gammeren left with no options here. He just has to hit in that area. Outside lane is blocked by his own piece in the way. Kind of shot themselves in their own feet. I don't know how to say that expression in plural. Nonetheless, no, Van Gammeren sees it from the outside. See if he's able to get this. Being very careful not to hit his own. Nice. And that leaves Ehren with a difficult shot. We'll see if he's able to get this. Nice hide from Tracey. Perhaps that's what he was trying to do. Planning ahead a few shots. Great strategy. Gets the mistake out of Ehren. Can Tracey get the open 20? If he can get this, then humility not included will be in a very, very good spot. And taking his time with this shot, this could be critical in this round as we're about to be halfway through it. He nails it with 6 shots left for each team. Humility not included with the hammer. Now tied in the cup. Play on the board. Great situation for them. Not super far ahead, but putting the pressure on their opponents. A lot of action off the post, but Trey unable to get the off. Van Gammeren most likely to roll away here. Though, got to be careful of that post. Okay, nice. He got past it. He's a little bit concerned, but also got his piece nicely in front of the peg there. I think the off for Ehren will be difficult here. Taking his time with a shot. He knows that post is right there. He doesn't want to drive it in. I don't think he's getting the off with this shot. He could also play to the outside piece. I think it's accessible from the outside, the right side of his quadrant. If he really doesn't like that one in the middle, he could leave it to Trey to deal with. And at this point in the round, we are just over halfway through the shots, but I think he does have some playtime. He gets the off, very nice. Ending up on the outside. Jeremy getting the off. It'll be up to Trey to bring play back to the center. Trey lining up his shot, really taking his time with this. That post is going to be tricky. I think he went in and he went out all the way to the gutter. Van Gammeren with an open 20 opportunity. Could really make that mistake hurt. And he gets it. Nicely done. Ehren on the outside. He needs to bring it in. He's going to be angling in off that closest piece. And this is such a tricky 20. We've seen people hit the 20 before, but whenever they do, it's always a trick shot and a celebration. So let's see, is Ehren going to be a highlight? Catches the post, I think the one he pointed at, but ends up on the outside of the house. Tracey will be more than content with a hit and stick on the outside, and Trey with absolutely nothing. He's got nothing to get in the house, I don't think. Hear Ehren talking about hide. I think that's their best option right now. There's no way he's getting past that post to get in. Could have pushed it a little bit more. Van Gammeren should have easy access to that piece, and even if not, there wouldn't be much Ehren could do. Ehren needs an off and a 20 to put any kind of pressure on Tracey. I think Ehren's best chance is to come through the diagonal lane up the right side of his quadrant, catch that piece, catch a post, and go in. But he goes from the outside, and that's it. Tracey will take a practice open 20. Doesn't much matter here. Gets it in, and that will bring humility not included 8-6 now in striking distance of moving on to the finals. Ehren and Trey with their backs against the wall. They cannot afford a loss. They cannot afford a tie. First shot to Van Gammeren coming up short. Heavy hanger opportunity for Ehren here. And he gets it. Very nice shot from Ehren there. Back to Tracey now. Bit of pressure on humility not included as they are down in the cup against the hammer. Lipping out of the center on the upside. Not leaving Trey an opportunity to get another 20. And Trey rolling close. Touch 20 chance for Van Gammeren. Doesn't love the touch 20, so You hear him say he's going for the follow-through instead. Unable to get it. And there could be a touch 20 chance here for Ehren, although he doesn't need to play for it. But if it's there, you go for it. If you really love it. You gotta love it, though. He doesn't love it. He stays to the far side of the 15, away from Tracey, nearly in front of a post. And Tracey bumps that off. But again, staying very close to the center. I think what Trey and Ehren are doing a fantastic job of right now. We'll see after Trey's shot. But I would say keeping 20 chances away from their opponents. But Trey hits a post. Van Gammeren most likely to go up one of the lines.
That would be better than a 20. But the most important thing is the 20. So
They're talking about hitting that piece because I think Ehren could have a 20 off that piece there. So they aren't concerned about getting one in right now. They're just making sure that Ehren can't hold the lead. So he bumps it away, and it looks like that was enough to take away any easy 20 chances for Ehren. Ehren doesn't much care about that right now because, again, they're up in the cup with the hammer. They're tied on the board, but up at 20, so pretty good position for them right now. Ehren playing to that far piece. He ensures that Tracey doesn't have any gimme opportunities. Will be hunting for a post. Doesn't get it. See what Trey does here. Again, they're just playing to those far pieces. That's what I'm saying. They're doing a great job just not leaving Van Gammeren and Tracey any chances to make up for that 20 discrepancy. You see Van Gammeren catches a post, gets a fist bump from Tracey. Nearly a 20 there. Nearly a highlight, but not quite. Ehren doing a great job getting right in front of the post. Ehren has done that a few times now. Just leaving Tracey with this, I can't even say the word, really annoying shot. He's leaving him really annoying shots to deal with. Tracey undeterred, though. Going for the hamster. Doesn't get it. See what Trey can do here. I don't think there's a double. They're getting a little bit busy. And that green piece in the center running some interference. Just a little bit. Makes it a little bit more unpredictable. In the background, right behind the scoreboard, you can see Linder Wendt from Northern Magic just beat Tracey and Van Gammeren in the semifinal round. And we could see a rematch if Tracey and Van Gammeren can win this. Linder, of course, is partnered with McTague, also known as Magic Mike. Not on screen currently, but also rocking the U.S. Open Crokinole Championship t-shirts. Tracey talking about the best way to deal with it. They are dealing with such a messy board right now. 4 pieces in play. And Van Gammeren saying he's not seeing a follow-through 20. Not sure if he sees a 20 at all, to be honest. So might just be looking to do some clearance. Looks like he lost his shooter in the process. Not 100% sure what happened there. Nonetheless, whole lot of green on the board right now with a 20 advantage. If I were a betting man, I mean anything's possible, but if I were a betting man, I would say that Flick the Bean is taking this round and will be tying it up 8-8. But Tracey with a lot of cleanup, unfortunately, leaving Trey with a backboard. And if he gets this, that's wraps on the round. That is it. Van Gammeren, he can't get a 20 off this unless Ehren intentionally bumps a 20 in for the opponent. Humility not included is absolutely hooped. And again, whoever wins this going on to the finals, the other team will be officially out of the bracket. So a lot of pressure on this game. Yeah, final shot from Ehren. Doesn't much matter. Nice 20 from Tracey. But Trey, he'll gutter his shot. There'd be no way for Trey to drop a 20 for Van Gammeren and Tracey with that piece so far on the outside. But guttering is always the safe option. I learned the hard way in Scenic City, and I'm glad it's not on film. I don't think it's on film. Where final shot, opponent piece on the board, I didn't have to shoot, and I ended up dropping a 20 for the opponents and tying the round. That's why you see these players gutter. There's a question of whether it's sportsmanlike, but I mean, it wins you the round. If you can mess it up, just gutter your shot. I'm of the opinion you should always do that, especially now after messing that up a few times this weekend. Trey going long.
I don't care about
Backboard for Van Gammeren. It could all come down to this round. Van Gammeren looking for an advantage. Gets the 20. Very nice. Now a bit of pressure on Ehren as they are playing against the hammer. Wants this 20 and he gets it. Still, Tracey and Van Gammeren can keep play on the board. They should be pretty good. See what Tracey's able to do with this. Doesn't get the off.
So just get him out, Trey.
Now Trey, yeah, you hear Ehren, just take him out. Keep 2 pieces on the board. Wait for a better opportunity. There's still lots of game to go. A bit of pressure on Flick the Bean right now.
I like this. Yep.
Van Gammeren, you hear him say he likes it, and whenever he says he likes it, he goes for the 20. And more times than not, he gets it. Lining it up. Doesn't get the drop.
Yeah.
Play still in the 15. Might be a 20 opportunity for Lewis here. Looks like he's going for a slight follow-through. Hits a post. And that one hurts. At this late stage in the game, that one hurts on the upside, leaving a tricky shot for Tracey. Having to look like sneak past his own. He might be trying to interfere with the backboard that Trey currently has. Because if they get up in the 20, that could be a little bit more tricky, especially with a piece still on the board. Able to get the off and takes away the chance. Very nice shot from Tracey.
Oh, I'm shaking my head at myself.
Trey lining up. Might be a double here. Goes for it. Not quite enough power as that one piece sticks to the board. Van Gammeren just looking for a simple off. Very nice. That's, yeah, not much for Lewis here. He could go for a hide, but at some point they need to go for that 20. That is very far back for Trey to get a drop back 20 off of, so not much use leaving that for Trey. Not sure if he's looking to play behind or what Ehren is doing here. Oh my lord. A well-deserved high five from his partner. We're going to get a replay on that shot. We haven't had replays through this round. We're getting a replay on that. What a beauty shot to tie it up. Tracey gets an open 20 though, so play still on the board.
Shot, Trey.
Trey doing a nice job keeping it in the house, but advantage still to humility not included, working with the hammer. Nice off from Van Gammeren, not leaving Ehren with any nice 20 opportunities. But we just saw him hit a great one, nearly gets another. But that opens the door for Tracey to go up in the 20s. He gets it. A lead. Play on the board. Trey needs a 20.
Here, or you gotta bump it in.
It looks like it's blocked up ever so slightly from the right side of the quadrant. Talked about a bump and run, but I think that's a little too offline. This is the best option and can always be an awkward shot. Trey doesn't break under the pressure. Van Gammeren looking to keep play away from Ehren. They really want to get to the outside now, but he stays too close. Backboard opportunity. Final shot for each player. Can Ehren get this? He does with the off. Real pressure on Tracey now to score this open 20. He gets it. On to Trey now. Whoever misses loses, or we could get a tie round. Trey hitting the open 20. It all comes down to Van Gammeren. Can he get it? That is it.
Did we just win? Holy shit.
And you hear Ehren Lewis's excitement. They have won and will be moving on to the finals. Let's take a look at that angling. Look at this. Very far out. No clear line. But he catches it, catches the other piece, drops a 20. Beauty shot. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to stay tuned for the finals coming out this Thursday between Ehren Lewis and Trey Snide. Flick the Bean versus Northern Magic. Linder, Wendt, and McTague, also known as Magic Mike. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to join the expanding Crokinole universe. My name is Garret, and as always, happy flicking.